And we're back. Welcome to the Auto Authorities Podcast. My name is Jay Grossman. I am the CEO and founder of Auto Agent and the host of the Auto Authorities Podcast. I'm very excited to come to you today to not only let you know when there is adversity, there's always opportunity. And what do I mean by that? There is so much opportunity right now in the used car market, soon to be the new car market. And I'm going to teach you some strategies today on how you can take advantage of all of this incredible stuff that's going on, even though it sounds really bad on the news. Are you ready to do this? Let's do it. Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride when buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay.
And I'm Dave.
And this is the podcast that tells you what to watch out for, whether you're buying, selling,
or repairing your car.
With 47 years of automotive experience, we are the Automotive Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by AutoAgent. We're real estate agents for cars.
And Quality Auto STL. Trusted services with no surprises.
Boom! Booyah! Oh boy. I cannot wait. I've been waiting so long to talk to you guys about what's going on right now because we're hearing all this terrible stuff in the news. And yes, there is terrible stuff going on. But I got to say, when there is adversity, there is always opportunity. And I'm going to teach you some strategies today on how to get back in your pocket, maybe some of that extra money that you may have lost the last time that you bought a car, because now it is a buyer's market. And before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors, Podcastify.me. Thank you so much for making this beautiful setup every single week. They are our producers of our podcast. They have been for a while. And if you want a podcast just like us, you can do that. You just contact Podcastify.me. And also, we have several different channels that you can watch the Auto Authorities. Number one, you can watch us live on the Facebook group page. You simply click join group, and you can not only watch us live at 12 p.m. Central Time on Tuesdays, but if you want to watch us recorded and you want to watch the video portion of it, you can go to YouTube and just click the subscribe button, and the notifications button can notify you when we have our podcast. And if you're just driving to work or you just want to listen to us, we have 19 different channels that Podcastify.me shoots us out to, one of them being Pandora and iTunes and all of that. And truly, as we go through today, I want you to leave any type of comments and reviews of what your experience has been with the Auto Authorities. We've been coming to you for going on 2 years now. I'm really excited every single week, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And then you can even, I'm going to have a free gift. So as we go through this, I'm going to be teaching you a lot of strategies on how to take advantage of this market. But I have a free gift for anybody that contacts us. We will send you a copy of my book called How to Buy a Car Without the Nonsense. Unless you like spending 7 hours or 4 hours or however many hours at the car dealership, we keep you in control the entire time. We'll show you step by step exactly the steps we take. And if you are interested in hiring us for our services, you can simply go to the autoauthorities.com or send us a message in our Facebook group page, the Auto Authorities Podcast, because we will do this all for you. We handle buying cars in our Vehicle Finder program nationwide. We help you buy new and pre-owned vehicles. We have a specific process that keeps you from having to communicate with the dealers. We do all the communications. We handle everything from A to Z. We literally tee the deal up completely, so you're not walking into the dealer until you approve the deal. We'll help you with financing. If you need help with extended warranties, we can help you with that. at pennies on the dollar compared to what you would purchase at a dealer. So let's really get into this. I want to catch you up to date first of all, and then obviously I'm going to be teaching you some strategies in a little bit. So I'm reading here the Manheim Used Vehicle Index fell to 200.5, which is 10.3% from last month. And let me tell you exactly what that means. It takes all the cars, it puts it through the auction, looks at mean transaction prices. It eliminates like outliers that maybe just don't, like they're just extreme mileage or really low miles. So it really, it's a really good indicator. Adjusts for mileage and all the it is like literally a mix of all vehicles. And basically what this does is it gives us an indicator of where we're going in the used car market. Is it going up? Is it going down? Well, guess what? I think the consumers are finally starting to see, because the media is so behind. And I have been telling you this for months, that the market is dropping. What does that mean to you? It means that there's going to be opportunity for you. And I'm going to teach you on how to take advantage of that opportunity. The consumer sentiment is down by 1.4% in the first 15 days of October. What does that mean? So what that is, it's an economic indicator on the confidence that we have in our economy. It's down. People are afraid right now, and people are like at a standstill, because it's kind of like, I don't even know what a good analogy is, but I'll come up with one here in a little bit. And then another good economic indicator is the days on the market are at 49 days, which is up 9 days from last year. So what does days on the market mean? Well, there are some places like Car Gurus that will show you how many days that the vehicle has been listed on the market. So what that means is the more that the higher the number, the slower the sales have been. Therefore, the demand is lower than the supply. Therefore, prices are dropping. And so that's really one of the things that I really wanted to hit. And then I also want to tell you a little bit about the market and the vehicles that are getting hit the hardest. And the vehicles getting hit the hardest are luxury vehicles and SUVs. People are still concerned about gas. We are here stationed in St. Louis. We work nationwide, but our gas prices are really, really low here. In fact, I just saw gas under $3 a gallon just yesterday. So I'm seeing gas starting to go down, which is good. And the other piece is, so the SUVs and luxury cars, but the other piece is the least amount of drop was compact vehicles and minivans. Well, the compact vehicles are still down, but people are still, in that mindset that the gas prices are too high. And then the minivans is, pretty much people are having families and they're going towards a van versus a SUV because of gas prices. So all this is taken into account, but we're going to talk about today about the opportunities that you have. So here's the state of mind right now with dealers, and there are a couple of these newer models, the Carvanas and Vrooms, that will probably go out of business over this. So I wouldn't recommend. This is just my opinion, but I use it based on facts. They have somewhere in the neighborhood of $250 million in losses right now in cars. Let me explain that, because I think it's important for everybody to understand what this means. So everybody's like, oh, Carvana is giving so much money for people's cars, and Vroom is giving people so much money for their cars. And I've been saying this for months. You can only do that for so long. And what they're trying to do is they were trying to scoop up as much as the market as they could. They were trying to get investors involved, which they did. They even bought an auction over this whole thing, laid off 20,000 some odd people. And now where do they find themselves? They find themselves underwater on their cars. What does that mean? They own these cars for way, way more money than they are worth. They got very, very greedy, and they started offering people all these dollars amount. Anybody that says that we're going to give you full retail value for your car is lying to you. These dealers have tremendous overhead, and they claimed that they had such low overhead, which was absolute BS. A dealership, a brick and mortar dealership, has less overhead than Carvana does, or Vroom, or some of these other places that are claiming that they're going to give you all this money. One of the reasons why I started iAutoAgent in 2015, I worked at a car dealership. I saw the massive overhead. So what I did is I started a company in 2015 that has tremendously low overhead. We don't have a building. We don't have a lot. We don't have to carry those costs. So we can give people more money for their vehicle. We can offer that same vehicle to the buyer for under market value without charging the seller, because we're able to build our compensation into the price. It's an amazing model. And right now we're in St. Louis, but we're going to be here going nationwide within the next year. And our vehicle finder program, where we help people buy vehicles nationwide, that has been incredible. We work directly with dealers, but frankly, I don't work with Carvana. I don't work with Vroom. They're not good companies. The person that started Carvana is a convicted ex-con, and they keep getting in trouble. They have massive class action lawsuits. So if you want to buy a car from Carvana, you can do it at your own risk. They may not be in business by the time it's time to get your title. And if you go to Vroom, it's going to be the same situation. Go to a place that you can actually talk to a human being, somebody that you can talk to one human being, not call a call center. So anyway, that's just kind of my soapbox. But if you're just joining us, we're talking about how to take advantage of opportunity in times of adversity. And that is for the used car market and also potentially the new car market. So we've talked a lot about different things. Please leave comments below too. I want to hear what you have to say. Like, I will respond to every single comment that is made. And we have an amazing community where you can watch this live on the Facebook group page. It's just the Auto Authorities Podcast, the Auto Authorities Podcast on the Facebook group page. You want to listen to us on iTunes, give us a review on iTunes. So let's get into the strategies. The dealers are lowering their prices. Some of the dealers are really on their game, and they have lowered their prices to where they need to be. We have, frankly, everything's dropping, so we've lowered all of our prices. Here's what you're going to see, and I'm going to give you an example. We have a client of ours right now that has signed up for the Vehicle Finder program, and he's looking for a Volkswagen Atlas. And there was a 2019 and a 2021, and they were almost identical in price. Why would they be almost identical in price? I want to tell you. Because the people that have the 2019 are still trying to get the same prices they were getting 3 to 4 months ago. But guess what? Those prices don't exist anymore. And the people that have the 2021, they're on their game. They're on their game. And what that means is you can take advantage. Now, the people that have the 2021 also have had their vehicle for the same amount of time. but they're adjusting their prices. So the better buy is the 2021. And our agents at iAutoAgent doing this vehicle finder program, they are finding incredible deals for people. Incredible deals. I cannot tell you how happy people are. Go look at our reviews and they'll tell you. It's pretty incredible. So that's one of the reasons why there's a large variance, because the dealers still have not figured out, some of them, what to do. So then the dealers are also underwater. We talked about that. The dealers own these vehicles for way more than they're worth, and they're sitting there trying to squeeze every penny they can. There's companies like I said, Carvana and Vroom. They could potentially go out of business over this. Take a look at their stock prices. They're at $14 a share when they were at $300 a share. What is another thing that's driving this market is repossessions. Why? Because during the pandemic, repossessions were not a thing. People were not making their payments, but they weren't repossessing vehicles. And now that we're back into, quote, normal times, vehicles are being repossessed left and right. What does that do? It increases the supply of vehicles. What does that do? It lowers the price on used cars. So like when we were doing our vehicle finder program, for the longest time, I was telling people, I'm like, listen, just go buy a new car, because it's probably going to be about the same, price, if not lower than a used car. And the reality of it is now it is completely different. There are still cars, and I'm going to talk about new cars on how you can take advantage of this. There are a lot of new cars that are still 4-month wait, 7-month wait. Some of the dealers are asking $5,000 above MSRP. Take a look at what those cars are doing now in used cars. It used to be the used cars are right here and the new cars are right here. Now we're looking at this. And I know some of you can't see me, but my hands are going way, way apart, meaning there's a huge variance between used and new. I'm highly recommending used cars for most of everybody out there. Also, I know for a fact that companies like Jeep are discounting their vehicles heavily. I have a specific instance where it was a Jeep Compass, a brand new one. The client got $4,000 off the MSRP. That would be something, again, in our vehicle finder program, we would break out the new versus the used to see what makes sense. Things are changing, folks, and you got to keep up with it. And hence the reason why we have the Auto Authorities podcast. So there's lots of deals to buy out there, but you have to be very careful when you're looking at prices. And I just used an example. When there's a huge variance, chances are the dealer with the lower price has figured out, oh my gosh, the market is dropping hard. I better get out of this vehicle so I can replace it with another vehicle at a much lower price. And that is what's going to keep continuing to drive down the market. So another thing that we have to look at is interest rates. In the last few weeks, interest rates have gone up. Are they ridiculously high? No, not even close. When I first got in the business in 1996, if you could get 8 to 9% on a used vehicle, you were ahead of the game, even on new vehicles. So I'm seeing interest rates at 3.79 up to 60 months at local credit unions here in St. Louis. Some of them are at 5.5, but they were at 2.49. That shouldn't deter you from going to get a vehicle. And I'm going to give you a strategy that I would recommend using. The market and the prices are going to continue to go down, but the interest rates will come back down eventually. I recommend that if you find a vehicle you like, look at the dollar amount less that you're paying for the car and look at the difference in interest. That's something that we can do for you in our vehicle finder program. You will find that the prices will significantly outweigh the amount of interest that you're going to be paying for a car. So what can you do? Number one, you get into the loan, take out the loan, take it out with a little bit higher interest rate. That's okay. You can always refinance that car. You can take it out for a little bit longer term, so you can actually have more of a cash flow. The other piece, though, you got to be careful not to take it out too long. And this would be a time you want to put some money down, because if you put the money, if your money's in the market right now, it's not making a whole lot of money. But even in the market, there's an opportunity there. If you like buying vehicles on a discount, now's the time. So I want to talk about selling cars, because one of our divisions at iAutoAgent.com is selling cars for people. Before I get into that, I do want to make sure that I mention, and I mentioned this early in this, I have a free gift for anybody that sends us a message that would like to have the free ebook. Let us know a story of yours, and I'll like talk about the story on the podcast if it's something that could help everybody. I wrote a book called How to Buy a Car Without the Nonsense. It's the exact same process that we take in our vehicle finder program to keep you from having to meet big bad dealer. We keep you in control the entire time. We do all the communications with the dealers. We work with the people that run the dealership. So send us a message in the AutoAuthorities.com and give us a story about either it's a good story, a horror story, maybe something that you're seeing in the market right now. But I want to talk about selling, and I'm going to leave with this, because it's a lot like the real estate market, right? If you're a real estate agent and you're listening to this, there are many more people selling houses than there are today. Why is that? Because people would just throw a house out there and then people would magically come and buy it. It didn't matter. There were not even inspections being done. So how can we transform this into the used car market? So if you're using Facebook Marketplace or Auto Trader, and you think that you're just going to be able to magically throw your vehicle out there and you're magically going to sell it, you have another thing coming. The party is over. That is why we have our division where we professionally help people sell cars. And before we leave today, I'm going to actually give you some great advice if you are looking to sell a car, and the proper steps to take before you sell your car. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go do an independent mechanical inspection and have a report. Because if you don't do that, when you sell your vehicle, that buyer is going to take it to their mechanic, and you're going to get to sit there for, I don't know, 1 to 2 hours while they find all the things wrong with your vehicle. And so they can renegotiate the price. If you don't do a professional detail on it, I mean a professional detail, not washing it yourself, you are jumping over dollars to save pennies. Your vehicle will drive out a higher dollar amount and it will sell faster. I hope you guys are listening. I'm giving you a lot of golden nuggets right now. The third thing is take photos that are in a professional setting. It could be in front of your house. That's fine. But make sure there's not sunlight sitting in there. And don't take them in your garage. Get all your crumbs and car seats out of the back. Like, make it look presentable. After you've done that, I highly recommend that you don't just use Facebook or Auto Trader or Car Gurus. I recommend that you use a combination of all of them. There's going to be costs involved with this because it is not free to advertise on Auto Trader and Car Gurus. I don't even like cars.com. And if you ever want to get your vehicle seen on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to have to pay to sponsor the ad and boost the ad. Once you have done that, be prepared for a ton of phone calls. from people that are offering you lower amounts than what your vehicle is worth, especially with Facebook. And I say phone calls, they're all going to be messages because they don't give out your phone number anymore. So you're going to get all these messages. Be prepared to change around your calendar, because if you don't change around your calendar and they want to see the vehicle, they are going to go somewhere else if your vehicle is not available. Then once you have done that, then you're going to want to meet at a police station. You don't want to meet at Walmart or Lowe's or at the Quickie Mart. You want to make sure that when you meet that person, that you tell somebody that you know that you're going out to show a vehicle. And it's best to bring somebody with you, even if it's at a police station, but you're going to eliminate about 90% of the people that are going to want to pull a scam on you. Once you've done that, you do not want to let them go on their own. Why is that? Because they may steal things from your vehicle on that test drive. They may not even want your vehicle. They may just want that part because they have the same vehicle and they can't get parts. Then once you come back and they're trying to pay you by a personal check, you don't want to do that. You're going to want to drive to the bank. Probably their bank would be the best, and watch that check get cut from their bank and get that check deposited like immediately, and sign the back of your title. If you don't sign the back of your title, you are opening yourself up for scams where people like jump title, where they try to sell your car under your name because they don't want to go pay sales tax on it. If you don't want to go through all of that, you can just give us a call and we'll do it for you at no cost. Just call us at iautoagent.com. You have to be local here in St. Louis for the selling program, but on the buying program, we're nationwide. I just want to keep you safe. And I really just wanted to give you some great advice today on how to stay on top of things and take advantage of this. There are so many awesome deals out there right now. The market's going to continue to drop. The supply is going to go lower because then people are going to hear that the cars aren't selling and they're not going to be selling. So, but there's a lot of cars available right now. So please leave comments below. I want to hear your stories. What do you think about all this information? Do you find it valuable? If you do, let me know, because I want to hear from you. I don't know until I hear from you. So that is about all I have today. Again, any questions, let me know at at theautoauthorities.com. That's theautoauthorities.com. And we will see you next week.